Anything is possible. New freezer, it's a lot of them.
Yes,
Oh yeah.
we got it, baby.
Oh, we're here.
What? Dude, look at that sign.
New outfit in the headquarters.
Dude, that is sick.
You like it?
I love it. I love it, man. How we doing, brother?
Great. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Dude, look what I got right here.
Come on.
I got the goods. I
Oh,
got the
baby.
goods.
There it is. I got cases of Dream Pops in the freezer downstairs.
Boom.
Your new favorite toothpaste. You don't have the new packaging yet, but that's coming soon.
Hopefully we'll get a sneak peek. But all right, dude, happy Friday, everybody. We got episode 22 with one of my best friends, one of the greatest people I know, Cody Levine, co-founder, chief brand officer of Twice, the greatest oral care company in the world. Thanks so much for coming on, brother.
Oh, it's great to be on, David. You know, when you started Stick With Your Dreams, I said, man, I can't wait for the time we get to go on and talk about our dreams together. So stoked to be here.
Epic, epic. Well, usually just like to kick it off high level. If you don't know Cody, you know, spent some time in the marketing world, has had a number of amazing roles. Now they're building Twice toothpaste, an oral care brand, which is incredible. But Code, tell us a little bit about who you are, where you're from, where you grew up, and how you kind of transition into the entrepreneurial world.
Yeah, you know, Twice is an oral care brand, and I didn't go to dental school, but I grew up around the smile. You know, I was, as you said, I was in marketing, and as a kid, my brother and I are in business together. Our dad is a dentist, a dental specialist in New York City, and you know, growing up, we were always surrounded by the work he was doing. Our mom and dad actually created two oral care companies together around teeth whitening, and when we were kids, we were literally packing product on the ping pong table when we were 7 and 10 years old from their own companies. And, you know, when I was building my career in marketing and advertising, my brother was in private equity. We joined our parents on a trip, on a mission trip. We joined a team of 25 dental specialists down to the Bahamas, and we treated an entire community for free dentistry. And it was there where we, you know, we kind of had our life changed. We saw this emotional side of dentistry that inspired us to do something, you know, different with our lives and ultimately build a brand that can empower people to take better care of their oral health, because we know that oral health is overall health. So, you know, we spent the last 3 years building this product and this brand, and really the journey to entrepreneurship has been so much fun and so cool with my older brother. You know, I never thought we'd be in business together, but here we are. We spent 12 months formulating our product, sleeping on mom and dad's couch. Luckily, there were two couches, one for me, one for him, and you know, 18 months of formulation before we launched.
So let's go early days. Let's talk about some of your earliest jobs. You know, first off, high school, college. Were you starting any side businesses? I know. Tell me a little bit about like being an athlete and some of the things that you were into outside of you know, your professional career.
Yeah, you know, growing up, we're an athlete family. Our dad played lacrosse in college at Cornell, and growing up, actually, we did too, my brother and I. You know, as a high school All-American, getting recruited to go to college to play Division I, you know, team was everything. Hard work was everything. You know, the right values, grit, grind, hustle, and perseverance. And we loved that team energy. And in college, you know, I was super fortunate to be on some awesome teams. We went to 3 Final Fours in the national championship weekend, and really, really cool. But knowing outside of lacrosse, you know, what's beyond there, you know, I became obsessed with brands and telling stories and ultimately, you know, how brands communicate and how they build community. And that led me into advertising right after college. So my first job out of school was at an old school agency called BBDO, which is kind of like, have you ever seen Mad Men? Mad Men, the show, is kind of like based off of BBDO, old school, you know,
Yep.
Super Bowl commercials. And I was one of the early young kids on the team doing more like digital strategy, which was, you know, in 2013, kind of a whole new world for brands and communicating with customers. So
How were
kind of
you
where
thinking about building brands and modern marketing within an agency like that then versus how brands you think are communicating with the world now?
I think back then everything was so new. Honestly, every day everything is so new, right? With new platforms and new communities popping up and new ways to talk. I think when you're at an old school agency, you know, you have to reframe a lot of the ways of working, and you have to, you know, come with a lot of data to see like, hey, this is why this is going to work, and understand how all these platforms can ultimately work together. And I think brands today are just jumping on things quicker. I think the immediacy of creation, like content, right? You know, you're able to jump on TikTok and just test and do things and roll with it. And I think today brands are diving in without the process needed that some of these bigger brands that are more legacy. And, you know, we were working with Snickers and the Mars Candy Shop, you know, Bacardi portfolio of brands, FedEx, Visa, AT&T. I mean, these are brands.
And
that
think
we
about this
direct with.
process, Cody. You've got like these linear campaigns, right? You've got like a big commercial or a couple commercials you're filming for television. You got magazines, you got
Yeah.
billboards. Like you're putting together, you're going into these boardrooms and you're thinking about how you're going to distribute that incredible content versus now it's like A/B testing, volume of content.
Yeah.
It's such a different world, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the ability to test and iterate, I think it's cheaper, it's faster, and sometimes it's even better. So that's what we used to say
Totally.
back then. It was like good, fast, cheap, pick two. But I think you can get all three these days.
It's awesome. It's awesome. Shout out to Jeff Gandy who just popped in here, as well as Chance Orkey. What's up,
Oh, love
guys?
that. Indeed.
Anyway, so all right, Cody. So you're at BBDO. Can you talk about one campaign that you just absolutely love, like one of your favorite things? Maybe it was at Giant Spoon, BBDO, Live Nation, just something that you absolutely loved working on.
Yeah, we on the Bacardi business, we you know, Bacardi's a fun brand. It's rum. It's about bringing people together and having a good time. And you know, Bacardi was built in Cuba and about the liberation. And we created an idea where a group of friends, one friend wasn't able to come home for the holidays. He was like stuck in the city that he was, you know, living and working. And all of his friends who emulate this Bacardi brand and this idea of fun and liberation, they took a house on the road and they drove a house across the country and they brought the house party to their friend.
That's
And
awesome.
it was really cool to concept, ideate, shoot, execute, and see it out in the world. Literally, like we drove a house across the country and threw a party in it. So
I think you guys need to bring a a bathroom counter, or basically a brush station around the country.
honestly, that's a great idea. That's a great idea. We did an RV trip across the country, actually, twice on
There you
tour.
go.
But that's a
Plug.
good idea.
I love it. Okay, so you're at the agency, you know, obviously we would talk all the time because, you know, both of us always had that itch. How does it, you know, progress towards, okay, you know what, me and my brother, we're going to go all in. We're going to go build this thing. Talk about a little bit about, you mentioned the foundation trip, but kind of how you got to the point where you were going to really go all in.
Yeah, it was about 5 years ago when we joined our parents on the first mission. The Glow Good Foundation, as I kind of mentioned earlier, was set up to bring full service dentistry to underserved communities. And, you know, we teamed up with one of our dad's patients, who's actually our third business partner, Lenny Kravitz, the musician. And Lenny asked us to come down to his hometown, the Bahamas, and set up a clinic. And so what was once a family passion of giving back and helping people, right, get access to dentistry and providing services, very quickly when we were on these missions turned into what is our company purpose. And we were on these trips, you know, as I kind of mentioned, we weren't dental professionals, right? I'm not treating folks, but hanging out with the kids and we're getting to know the community, and, you know, everyone's excited to be there because we're there to help and we're there to, you know, give them health and to give them smiles. And Jules and I had these moments where we were meeting patients who would walk into our dental clinic in pain, physical pain, even emotional pain, right? Self-conscious about their smile. And ultimately what was happening was this transformative experience where they were leaving the dental chair and this space and this office and this experience like with new energy, new life, new love. And it was all through dentistry, right? Providing them a smile. And when we heard stories of people, like we had one guy, Pete, who runs a surf shop in town. Pete's got a big beard and a big mustache, and he told us that he grew it out to cover his mouth because he was embarrassed for his wife to see his teeth when he smiled. And we gave Pete a full reconstruction, a brand new smile, and he comes back in the next day. He shaves his beard, and he's smiling like ear to ear. And that for us were these moments where we were like, whoa, we're able to really impact people here. And how do we do more like this? How do we create a brand that can empower people to do the basic things like brushing twice a day with better for you toothpaste? Like if you brush twice, you're going to be healthier. And we saw that. And year after year, we were seeing the improvements, and we jumped in. We said, let's go build our own company that can ultimately help this foundation grow.
So the foundation, obviously crucial, purpose-driven company, amazing. And you talk a lot. I love how you say you're a smile company, not like never do you mention product. It's all really about mission and values, which I think is what really sets you guys apart from everyone else. For everyone else, it's all about just a wider smile, the toothpaste, the product, what's in the ingredients. So I always love how you guys say you're a smile company.
Yeah.
Fun fact that you told me, 100 million Americans, or 1/3 of the population, do not brush their teeth twice a day.
Yeah, it's a pretty scary statistic. A third of America don't brush twice.
Can you tell me about, you have a much more profound appreciation with your family in the space. Talk to me about dental wellness and some of the common misconceptions or things people don't know about how important it is to take care of your gums and your mouth.
Yeah, the reality is that the mouth is the gateway to the body. And what that means is that your mouth is just like your gut has the microbiome, right? Your mouth has an oral microbiome. There's 8 billion bacteria. And when you're consuming a diet of sugary drinks, acidic foods, you are basically putting your mouth and your teeth under attack of going out of balance, right? And so when you do the simple things like brushing, and if you can think about your mouth as part of your overall health, there's going to be incredible value that you get to create long term, because there are really, really powerful yet alarming signs connecting inflammation in the mouth, right? If you ever brush your teeth or floss and your gums bleed, like that's gingival inflammation, aka early signs of gum disease. That gingivitis and that inflammation, that red and bleeding gums, can ultimately lead to cardiovascular disease, the #1 killer in America, diabetes, Alzheimer's, dementia. Not to sit here like scaring people about your mouth, but it is so important to think about oral wellness and the mouth being part of the rest of your body.
Think about how many products are targeting the gut: kombucha, prebiotics, probiotics.
Yeah, I'm drinking one right now.
There you go. I just don't feel like the mouth gets as much attention as it should. It's arguably equally as important. And I only know so much about how it affects your health. So it's really interesting.
Yeah. So we want to be one of the brands that are really out there educating in a fun way and ultimately improving people's health and habits by doing the basic things of brushing twice a day.
Awesome. So, okay, you had this incredible experience traveling. You guys go to Eleuthera. What happens next? How do you even think like, man, I'm gonna quit my comfortable career to really go into this? What was the tipping point?
Yeah. Well, Julian, my older brother, he spearheaded. He was in finance, and I didn't have 2 pennies to rub together, so I had to moonlight while I was working, and we started formulating. The tipping point was after our 2nd year of the mission, deciding like this is it. So we spent a lot of time in the background thinking, okay, well, what can we do? Well, toothpaste is a product that, there's not a ton of innovation, and it is an important part of your routine. And it was the tipping point when we basically said, let's go make toothpaste. And Julian started formulating with myself and our dad with a chemist. And that process of 18 months of nailing the product, I think we got it to a good place, and then we started testing. And then the real tipping point was probably when we brought a first sample to Paris. We flew overseas. I quit my job on a Tuesday, and I left Wednesday for Paris with Julian to meet Lenny Kravitz, our third business partner. And we shared with him, the formula that's kind of under development and the brand, and we said, let's do this together. And that was the real tipping point. We're like, okay, like, it's happening. This is real. And we dove right in. A lot of sleepless nights.
It's awesome. I remember all of this personally because just various calls, FaceTimes, etc. It's exciting, man. It's awesome. Okay, so you guys are fully committed, all in, ready to rock. Had this awesome launch party in LA, which was amazing. Absolutely loved it. Talk to me a little bit about, initial obstacles, some of the things that you hadn't foreseen, maybe some advice for other founders looking to go into the space that might be helpful or provide some value to other would-be or soon-to-be entrepreneurs.
Yeah, I think, when you're launching a business, one, the product is paramount, right? And you got to nail the product. But when you think about, okay, we love our product, we think people are going to love it, how do we get it in other people's hands, right? When we launched, we had a ton of ideas, and it was almost like, okay, let's try a bunch of things and see what sticks. And when you're launching and you're testing marketing initiatives, you have to have patience, and you got to be willing to fail and test and learn and say, hey, this is or is not working. And when you're the entrepreneur, you if something doesn't work, you got to learn from it. We say, let's try not to make the same mistake twice. Sometimes you do, believe it or not. But when we launched, we brought forth a really fun, cool, activation on World Smile Day sorry, I got a FaceTime from my brother.
You're good. You're good.
We launched in a fun way, and we tested a bunch. And, when you're a D2C business and you're selling your product online, you have to make sure you have the right people around the table. And I think that if you're starting a business today, I would say that the most important thing you can think about is who you're surrounding yourself with and building your team. Find people that believe in your mission, share the same values, and ultimately are going to be committed to building the business with a lot of passion and a lot of vision. So that I would say those are some of my important takeaways.
It's awesome. It's awesome. And I think one thing I'd love to dive into, because this was something that we experienced personally at Dream Pops too, was you have this initial vision or idea of how you're going to go to market. For us, we went big on D2C early, trying to be a very daily harvest, ice cream online type of a business. Really fast, we learned, wow, we are not, prepared to spend the type of money or create a business or infrastructure to do that. And we had to pivot and kind of change our game plan to go into retail. Would love to hear your thoughts on this state of D2C entrepreneurship. A lot of these issues that founders can I think a lot of people are trying to just build pure D2C businesses, and that may have been the case in the early 2010s or when really the internet was starting to blossom from a D2C perspective. But I think that you guys really, correct me if I'm wrong, it's really more omni-channel for a brand like yours, where now you guys just won CVS, you're really growing on the retail side, but you're also complementing that with D2C.
Yeah, absolutely. I think being an omni-channel brand is super important, especially when we're in the toothpaste game, right? Like, where do you buy toothpaste? You buy it on Amazon, you buy it at CVS, and maybe if you see a Facebook ad, you'll buy it on a website. And, when you're building a pure direct consumer business, you got to make sure that that all the elements are working, right? Your unit economics, like how you're acquiring customers. And if you don't have a super high value product like, you know, a $50 blow dryer or, you know, a $200 electronic, you know, there's a lot more complication and it's a bit harder. So not to say that it's not possible, because anything is possible, and you have to have the right team, infrastructure, and strategy to do it. We get really excited about being where people show up to buy toothpaste, and an omni-channel strategy these days, I think, is really important. You know, we launched nationwide at CVS during COVID, and also on Amazon, because we know that, you know, 50 cents on the dollar is spent on Amazon, and the people who are there buying toothpaste, they're probably not coming to my website to buy toothpaste, right? So it's, you know, almost like cast a wide enough net while maintaining very specific strategy and focus is definitely an important thing today.
And how important is it to build a beautiful D2C website for direct traffic, investing in that, versus, you mentioned Amazon, which I don't have a lot of experience with, versus pushing retail? How do you even think about where to put your time? Are there things to look at, like you mentioned, like average order value needs to be X, or, you know, business proposition is we want people buying directly from us so we can get that data? How do you think about that?
Yeah, you know, for us, it's all about lifetime value, right? I mean, similar in the ice cream game, if people, you know, buy one bag and they're going to come back, and you know that customer is buying 4, 5, 6 times in a year, you know you have a very sticky product and a sticky brand. And for us, toothpaste is, well, ice cream in our house, we think it's a necessity every single day. It's like part of our DNA. Toothpaste actually is, right? You have to brush your teeth twice a day, and it is a replenishment product. So lifetime value is really our number one metric. And understanding, yeah, like, what's your average order value? If someone comes to your website, how much money are they spending, right? How can you increase that to you know, almost make it a little easier on yourself to grow your business and introduce new products. So that's really important for us is, you know, in the D2C world, it's all about retention and lifetime value.
So you have an amazing marketing background across a number of organizations. How do you think about marketing Twice today? And, you know, any advice for people trying to get the word out about their brand? How would you think about it?
It's a great question. I think, you know, finding, one, understanding who you are is really important. You know, like I think you can always evolve your brand and your positioning. Knowing who you are is crucial, and ultimately identifying the other voices or partners or places where your brand can thrive with like-minded individuals, right? I mean, it's really about identifying who that target is, right? And where do they live, right? What do they consume? How do they operate? What do they watch? What do they listen to? You know, understand and paint that picture of your customer, and ultimately go meet them where they are. I think that's a really fundamental, important element. And then I think it's really important to just test, right? I think that you can't be such a perfectionist. I've struggled with that in my past, and almost trying to be too perfect and you know, making sure everything is just perfectly right. But almost sometimes you have to say to yourself, like, any action is a good action, right? Like, get out there and do something and test it. And hey, if it doesn't work, at least you tried it and learn from it, and then try something else.
Are there any specific channels or strategies that you're really excited about with Twice? You know, I know you guys have a pretty amazing, you know, email marketing strategy. Your content is fire on Instagram and across all your platforms. Love the new TikTok stuff, but anywhere that you're particularly excited?
Yeah, you know, we're building really great partnerships with influential voices. Call them influencers, call them content creators, people who love what we're doing and are able to share our brand and our products in a way that's super authentic. Whether they're dental professionals on TikTok, you know, chefs or wellness influencers or holistic health coaches or lifestyle bloggers, you know, a better for you product that can ultimately make you healthier and help you live a better life can fit into someone's world, right? And when people talk about it and they share it with their followers, we get really excited about that. So building out, our influencer community of partners is something we're stoked about.
Love it. In the spirit of all things wellness related, building a startup is really intense and takes a lot out of you financially, psychologically, and with regards to your energy and your mental wellness. What are things that you and your brother do to just keep, this is a marathon, and people oftentimes don't realize it's 7 days a week. You're always working, you're always getting emails. How are you finding balance?
Right on cue. Sorry.
Yeah.
Really important for us to be active. As athletes growing up, I hung up the cleats, but I'm a big cyclist, and if I'm on my bike or if I'm running outside or on a treadmill, that's my escape, my release. And when I get that sweat, it resets me. So I would say I got to be moving. I picked up meditation about 2 years ago. Very powerful tool that I would recommend to absolutely anyone and everybody. Breath work, meditation, really powerful to just like clear your head, reset you, and keep you going. Because you're right, it's an absolute marathon, and there's ups and downs through it all, and you got to embrace it. You gotta. We like to say we love the rain, and when it rains, you got to live in it. So that's
No rain, no rainbows, baby.
No rain, no rainbows. Ain't that the truth?
Yes.
I love that.
Facts.
I'm gonna have to put that on the wall
amazing,
next to our
dude.
neon.
It's the best. It's the best. Well, as we wrap up, obviously super grateful for your time. I think would love to hear, Cody, where is Twice in 3, 5, 7 years? What's the long-term vision for the company, and anything that is exciting that you can share with us that's coming soon?
Yeah, for us, we have a vision of building the next great oral care company that is taking over your bath. We want to be a brand that stands for health, that's going to prioritize oral health and ultimately make you healthier. And, that will come in the form of other products around the oral health routine. Something new that's coming is some new packaging. So these will be shipping out by next month. We have invigorating wintergreen and peppermint. We have calming vanilla lavender mint. I'm telling you, this is the best toothpaste you'll ever have. It'll actually make you want to brush twice a day. So check us out. You can find us on shelf at CVS or at our website. So new packaging, which we're super stoked about, and a third flavor coming soon next year.
I love it. Cody, I love you, man. Thank you so much for coming on. Guys, check out Twice. Taking over your bathroom. Incredible brand, incredible company, and amazing humans. Really appreciate your time, buddy, and have a great rest of your weekend.
Thanks, David. Appreciate it. Great sticking with the dreams.
Yeah, baby.
Amen.
Later,
Love
man.
it.